Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you or showing to you how to use Microsoft Copilot, which is a generative AI product from Microsoft. So I'm going to be showing you how to use that to actually practice for the SQL exam, okay, or in general to practice for SQL. That's what I'm going to be showing to you here. Before we actually get into the subject matter, broadly speaking, what I'm aiming to do here is to show you, how to do this. So first, what we'll be doing is we'll be opening up Microsoft Copilot, and I'll show you how to do that. And once we open up Microsoft Copilot, what we are then going to do is to give it a description of a sample database. Okay, in other words, what we are going to tell it is, hey, I've got all these tables, and in each of these tables I've got the following columns, and then this is how the tables are all related. So we are just giving it a verbal description of our database that we are going to use. We're not going to give it any data. We're just textually, verbally describing to it, this is our database. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to tell it what its role is. Okay, that is, we're going to tell it your role is to act as my mentor, and I want you to teach me SQL by giving me a bunch of problems to solve with increasing level of difficulty. And for each problem, you're going to ask me the retrieval requirement, which is what information needs to be retrieved from the database. And then you're going to ask me to write an SQL to do that. Okay. So, and after I write the SQL, you're going to evaluate my answer, and in case my answer is correct, simply move on to the next question, or in case my answer has mistakes, give me some hints so that I can reach the correct solution. Okay, and you're going to explicitly tell Copilot, hey, don't give me the solution, because the job here is that I will be the one finding the solution. You just have to help me to get towards the correct solution. Don't give me the correct solution. Okay, broadly speaking, this is what we are going to tell Copilot, what its role is in this entire process. In other words, we are saying, you be my mentor and you do all of these things. Okay, and then we get going. Okay, so what you'll see is that it asks you one question, you write an SQL. If it's correct, it's going to move on to the next question. But if your SQL is not correct, it's going to give you gentle hints. Okay. If it starts giving you very specific hints, you need to tell it, hey, your hints are too specific. Give me only gentle hints. Don't just give me the solution. Okay. Sometimes what it'll do is it'll just come back and give you the solution, because that's what it's primed to do, right? Its job is to give us solutions. So it'll keep trying to give the solution. So if it does that, just tell it, stop this. Don't give me solutions, only give me hints, because I'm the one to find the solution. Okay. So once you put it, prime it into this role, after that, you can start practicing SQL with it. Okay, so for the given database, it's going to ask you a bunch of SQL questions in increasing order of difficulty, and interactively with it, you write a solution. If you're correct, it moves on. If your solution is not correct, it's going to give you hints to get you to the correct solution. Okay, in the process, you're going to be making mistakes. You're going to find out what your mistakes are, and then you're going to correct your mistakes and move on. And that's a perfectly fine way to learn. Okay, and you get a lot of practice with the database. Now, if you want to do practice with a different database, then all you have to do is to change that initial part where we are describing the database. You describe the database that you want it to use. And then the second part of it can be exactly the same. The role that it's going to play, that can be exactly the same. Okay, so you can really practice SQL with this. Now, most of the time, it doesn't make mistakes. Okay, but sometimes there is a possibility that it could make a mistake. Okay, if it does make a mistake, and if you do spot it making a mistake, you can tell it. You can say, hey, what you're saying seems to me to be incorrect. And if it's indeed incorrect, it will say, yeah, I think I made a mistake, and it will fix itself. Okay, so I think you can have a very productive session, a learning session with ChatGPT. Okay, try it out with with the database that I'm giving you. You could also try it out with other databases. Now, the one thing you could do is the database that I'm giving you, that is also available to us on Apex. You've already probably loaded it on Apex. You should have if you've been following the lectures. Okay, so you could actually, the moment it says your solution is correct, you go try it out on Apex and see if it's indeed correct. Okay, and if it's not correct, if Apex does give you an error message or something, you can go back and tell ChatGPT, hey, what you did was wrong. Okay, so this is the whole idea of what we are going to be doing next.